As some of you may know, I've been fixing Nintendo handhelds now for the past 4 to 5 years, and I love it, but I really want to pick up a new hobby. I love watches. That is something that I have been fascinated by for several years now, and I thought, why not try and take apart a watch and put it back together? So I've got here a Rolex, I think it's a slightly smaller brand, and we're going to have a go at taking that one apart. Now this one right here is a GMT, so it actually has an additional hand, which I thought might make things slightly easier, so let's give it a go. Now, as this is my first watch, I'm not sure what tools yet I need, but I think a Phillips screwdriver is pretty much the only thing we're going to need. Okay, righty. Okay, obviously I'm joking. I'm here with my actual watch expert friend, David. This is his watch. We will not be touching this watch. In fact, would you like this back?
Yeah.
I heard they're valuable, so maybe you want that. We're going to be doing it with a pocket watch. Why is that, David?
Well, the pocket watch is slightly more simple. It's a slightly larger movement as well.
Yeah.
So it will... I'd say it's just easier to work on.
Okay, I mean, I've opened up the back of it here, and everything, I mean, it's still absolutely tiny, but everything is just big enough that I can see the screws and that sort of thing, and all the cogs and whatnot look ever so slightly bigger as well. Obviously, it makes sense because these watches physically are actually bigger. So, this is where we're going to start. David's brought all of his tools with him. David's been watchmaking now for several years, haven't you?
Yeah, professionally for about 3 years, but I've always had an interest.
And David is actually an authorised Rolex watchmaker. Is that the right title?
Yep, level 30.
So, sorry, what was that?
Level 30.
A level 30 Rolex watchmaker, which sounds pretty damn good. So, we're not going to go anywhere near that Rolex, don't worry. Let's begin. David, how do we even start this?
Well, what you want to do is get your tools. Not that one.
Okay, so apparently we need to start by removing the energy that is in this here little mainspring that's absolutely going crazy, and that is what's creating the ticking.
So that's actually called a balance wheel. The mainspring is not in shot. It's a common theme that I'm not going to have all the terminology yet, but bear with me.
If you pull the click out the way, hold it in position,
I think I'm in position.
and I'll just release the mainspring.
Oh my god, how long is that going to take? Oh!
There you go. And then once you hear it ratcheting like that, that's all the power out.
So what is the next thing?
Next thing I'd say is turn it over and remove the bezel.
Like that?
Perfect. And then just remove the bezel.
Okay, so that's the bezel, and it's got the glass on it as well, which has a beautiful sort of dome shape to it, which is absolutely lovely.
So the next thing I would suggest doing is setting the time. You want to set the hands either to 12 o'clock or to a position where both the minute and hour hands are overlapping.
Okay, so to do that, let's not put any power into it. Alright, so is that where you want me to leave it?
Yep, leave it like that. And then get your dial protector.
Which is a small film of plastic. Put that over the top.
And then you've got 2 hand levers.
Okay, underneath the hour hand like this.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, like that.
Yep, and then push in, and then lever.
Oh my god. There we go,
There you
that's
go.
definitely both of them. Okay.
Go either side of the hands.
Either side of the hands.
Yes.
Okay. Right, so we've got to do the same with this little tiny thing, haven't we?
That's it.
Oh my goodness me. But it came off.
Now you've got it.
Okay, we've removed the dial. It was quite a horrible process. David had to end up taking over because I got really scared. This is the behind the dial view, and that is quite a beautiful looking thing. So that's the hole there for the seconds hand, right?
Yep, that's it.
And then you've got the what would it be called? The axle?
Yep. So this here is the hour wheel.
The hour wheel.
This here is the minute wheel.
Okay.
And these two are intermediate setting wheels.
Okay. That's fantastic. All right, so where do we go from here?
So what you want to do is get your tweezers.
Okay, tweezers.
And remove the hour wheel.
Okay, so that's just going to come off, is it?
That's it, just lift it off.
All right, where are we putting parts?
So we can put the parts just on here.
You reckon?
Yep.
Pick it up by the pinion.
Yep, and it'll come straight out.
Okay. Okay, so in order to progress further, we need to undo this very tiny little screw, which should apparently release the crown, right? Is that the right,
yep,
the right
that's
thing?
It.
Okay, there we go. How far out does it need to come?
So probably a good couple of turns.
So now let's go ahead and try and pull that out. Oh, hey, there we have it. Okay, lovely. So now I've been told to push out the movement from the case. Oh, is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
There we go. Okay. Oh. So the first thing we are going to remove is the escapement.
Escapement.
And
yep.
that has the balance wheel on it. And that is done by removing this screw here. So this is my first screw that we're going for. That was quite loose, that.
Making it easy for you.
Yeah, I'll take it. There we go. All right, first screw is removed. Right, we're now going to remove this balance wheel segment, which we're going to do with these tweezers and a little bit of willpower. Here we go. So I'm going to lift it up. That's ever so slightly. There we go.
Gently lift it out at an angle so it doesn't catch on any of the other wheels.
This bit's not coming up. This segment here.
Yep. There you go.
It's not coming.
I'll help you ease it out.
David!
There you go.
And it can take that, can it?
Yep. And just flip it over.
So there we have it. That is the heart of the watch removed. So let's go ahead and set that down over here. What is next from here?
Right, from here you want to remove the ratchet wheel.
So all of the like little things and movements and catching things with screwdrivers, if you did that in a Rolex course, would you be like immediately fired?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay, next one. This one here.
The crown wheel. So that is actually a left-handed screw.
What?
Yep.
So I'm going to tighten it to undo
Yep.
it. That's horrible. Why have they thrown that in? Oh, because of the way that it rotates.
That's it.
Oh my days, that feels so wrong. All right, David did that one. Right, so these two big wheels are gone. That was horrible. David had to help with both of them, but they are now out. So I see a very, very tiny spring here, which greatly concerns me. So what is next, David?
So that spring, just for your ease, we'll leave that in there.
Okay.
We'll leave the click and spring in situ.
Okay.
The next bit you want to do is remove the pallets, which is this little piece here.
That tiny little thing there needs to be removed.
So you need to remove the pallet bridge first.
So there we have it. The pallet bridge is removed. Let's go ahead and set that down. Okay, what is next now? I see there's a small, like, almost fork-shaped thing that has also come out. What is that?
That is the lever with the pallet.
Yeah.
So you want to just gently lift it out.
Okay.
Go for the body of the lever. There you go. Yep, go for the arm. Perfect.
Oh my days. So we're now going to remove the escape wheel bridge. Okay. So we're removing that tiny little thing in there, which is now falling about. Okay, that's better.
There you go.
All right, there we have it, the escape wheel.
What you want to do next is remove the third and fourth wheel.
Okay. It's so hard to film all of this stuff.
It is. It's straight down.
There we have it. In order to remove these, we are going to have to remove all of these big screws around it to remove this whole plate part here. I don't know if it's called a plate, but I'm going to go with that name.
It is.
Okay, happy days. Right, so let's do that then. Yoink. Okay. So now I shall remove this big plate like that. Wow, it looks like it's taken a bit of an impact
Yeah.
from something there. Can you see? It's even like coming through to the bottom.
Yeah. And if that touches the barrel underneath it, that could potentially stop the watch.
This has seen some poor craftsmanship over the years. And it's about to see some more. So, let's continue. All right, so now I need to remove this little wheel here. Oh no, the big one on the top.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And set that down. And then this little one.
Yep.
And set that down.
Perfect.
Okay. That is a beautiful wheel, that. Holy. Okay, are we going to take that one out?
You'll want to take the barrel out first.
Which one's the barrel?
This bit here.
You want to take that out before that?
Yep.
How's that possible?
So what you want to do is go in between here onto the barrel arbor and then simply just...
Oh my goodness.
Lift it out.
That looks like it's too heavy to be holding with tweezers. So why is it called a setting wheel?
So that's one of the wheels which engages when you set the time.
Ah, okay, that is fantastic. It makes so much sense. Okay. So what are we going to do with that, David? Are we gonna leave that in?
It's up to you. It is quite a fiddly process, so it's up to you if you want to leave that in there and just admire it, or if you...
I like that. Let's do that. Let's do that. So, I mean, I can see the screws here, and I just want to remind people that this is my thumb for scale of all of this stuff. I mean, absolutely insane. So I think what we'll do is we'll leave everything here. And we're going to reassemble it, but in doing that, we're going to be lubricating all of the little jewels and stuff. And I know that there's a very specific amount of lubrication that needs to go on, so there's still a lot of learning to go. So we're going to start by now applying some of the different lubrications into the mechanism. That's such an amateur way of describing everything, but we're going to start by lubricating things, and there is different grades, as you can see here, of lubrication. So David is going to be taking over some of this stuff because the tolerances and the amounts are quite specific, and I could completely screw it up. So inside here is a tiny little spring, and that is really what sort of powers it, isn't it?
Yep, so you can see it just in that little...
Yeah, you can just about see it. So how would you actually access that normally?
So normally what you could do is this, what I'm holding here, the two little pivots that you see, is called the barrel arbor.
Right.
So what you can do is this lid cracks open.
Okay.
So you can just place it on a table and then just...
And are we not going to do that?
Nope. No, I'd say for your first time.
But could you do it to show it, or is it too difficult?
I could do it. I just don't. Actually, I'm just thinking I don't have a tool to.
Oh yeah, because there's a windy thing, isn't there, to put it back in, isn't there? Okay, let's leave that. Right, but you can still. Can you get any degree of lubrication in there?
Yeah. So get a little bit of grease, like that.
There is nothing on the end of that. Is there really?
There is.
This is ridiculous.
Now, forgive me, I wouldn't normally do this in the real world, but for the purpose of the video, there you go. You put a little smear on here. I might go in and do it again.
How would you normally do that?
Normally I'd use my eyeglass and I'd be right up close to it.
Okay, I see.
But I'm just looking through the camera.
Yeah, so that you can...
just doing it that way.
Okay. I mean, you have done it a few times before, so I can imagine by feel you know what you're doing.
That's it.
There we go. Okay. When do you think the last time this was serviced was?
Oh, hard to say, but not for a long time.
Yeah.
So in theory, to do this job properly, you'd want to completely strip it, clean it, check everything. We haven't checked for any wear. We haven't cleaned it. Go in again, a little bit of grease at the end of my oiler, and then I'm just gonna gently apply it to the side of the barrel arbor here.
I can see that going on, actually. I can actually see that going on.
And now you can reapply the plate.
Like that?
Yep. And just leave that there for now. Screw it down so it's just tight enough that's holding, and then before you fully tighten it, just do your little test again.
Okay.
To check how free the gears are. There you go.
Yeah, they still feel free.
Yep, you've done that right.
You don't need to lubricate that, no?
You will do, but after everything's in place. Yep, so get it so that the pivot is all the way through, and then get your Third wheel. Yeah, underneath this wheel.
Underneath that wheel?
Yeah. Like that.
How's that? Is that in?
Yep, that's in.
So the train wheel bridge.
And then, if you look on the underside, you'll see 2 feet.
Yeah.
So those 2 feet.
Okay, go into there, yeah.
Here.
Okay.
I broke it. I broke it. No. No. So as I was trying to put down this bridge piece again, there's 2 jewels here which have to, like, basically the tops of the axles of these wheels have to slide seamlessly into the center of the jewels. And the jewels are there because they're like a frictionless material that allows things to spin freely and keep good time. Because if there's any resistance, it's not going to work. And I broke one of the jewels. You can ever so slightly just make out here the top of that jewel. And now basically this wheel here is not going to sit straight into the jewel. So there's just going to be now forever some movement. You can just sort of make out the top of the axle of this wheel spinning around. So basically, David has told me that it will never work again. which being that the primary function of a watch is to work, it's not good.
Well, it won't work tonight. I can replace the jewel, but I just don't have the tools or a spare jewel here.
Well, alright, so should we continue then? Because there's still some pretty finicky stuff to go. So let's continue and pretend that never happened.
And is it going underneath everything?
Yeah, it will go underneath.
It would really seem like a magnification on my eye. Okay.
So what's next now?
So you want to put the pallets back in.
Okay, that's the weird forky looking thing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now do we need to put a bridge down on top
You
of
need to
that?
put the pallet bridge on, but you have to be careful that you don't push it out of position.
Brilliant. Okay, that's a lovely thing to hear.
Technique is more is something. So you eventually you'll come to be able to pick things up without touching them.
Okay, because that's not good, is it?
There you go. But then attention to detail. You'll notice that
It's not.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There we go.
There you go.
We've had to slightly skip a couple of things. We just put the movement back in the case and we put the dial on as well. But yeah, unfortunately this watch, the pocket watch, wasn't in great condition. So there's a couple of things like the pins that hold down the dial onto the movement were like bent. So there was a few difficulties with that. Also the dial's already cracked. So a small bit of enamel has fallen out. But what is next? Is it putting the hands on?
Yep, so you can put the hands back on.
At 12 o'clock?
Yeah, I recommend putting the second sound on first.
Okay. Alright, what have I done wrong?
So then just line it up.
Are we going to try and straighten the hand?
Do you want to?
No.
Yeah, this watch wasn't in fantastic condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Shall I push it down?
Yep.
Is there a hole in the middle?
Yes. You might find the others slightly bigger.
Oh.
There you go. And then push it all the way in. There you go. And then you can tighten up that screw again.
This little tiny one.
And set and leave a screw.
Okay. That's so sad, it's never going to work. Is that what you mean by
Yes, it will just slip. So the hands will still spin round, or the hands will spin round, but effectively it will slip.
Yeah.
give it a little nudge. And then when you see it spin freely like that, you know it's within the...
Yeah.
So now you can put your screw in.
Okay. I mean, it's so hard to focus on this and the video, so I apologise if the videos are falling off slightly, but we'll keep going. All right.
And then slowly screw it down. And then once you feel like you're almost at the end, again, do that little test to make sure it's actually in line.
Yeah.
There you go.
So now one last little tighten.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's one thing to be proud of, but we're not going to be able to put any power into it, are we?
No. Well, you can put power into it, but it won't retain it. It will just slip.
Why is it not getting power? Why is the balance wheel not spinning?
Because effectively it's isolated from the rest of the gears here.
Oh, I see. Because of the one
Yeah.
that broke. So there we have it. The watch is back together and it is reduced to nothing but a small trinket because of the one small jewel that I broke by just being too heavy-handed. And I suppose if I was to give myself a little bit more credit, the tolerances of holding a screwdriver is like nothing I've ever known. I mean, honestly.
I think you did well though.
Thank you, man. Hopefully you can replace that jewel.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, I'll be really happy. And then we'll lubricate it again. Maybe what we can do is do a follow-up video where you've put that jewel back in and we can just lubricate it and put it back together and just show it working. That would be amazing.
That would be great.
How do you think I did besides that?
I think you did really well actually. I mean, effectively...
It was a bit of a crusty watch to try and work on.
It wasn't a fantastic watch, but I mean, you know, it's difficult because I'm not a teacher, but I think for your first time, that was actually really good.
Okay, well, I really appreciate the kind words, man, because that my head is so like so to try and zone out into some watch world and try and do that was really difficult. I'm really keen to do another one. Maybe actually try and, you know, eventually get to a watch where we can take the watch apart, put it back together. Obviously, just like a cheapo one. But wow, what a journey that was. That took us a total of 2 hours, which I think is actually not bad, to be honest.
That was really good.
Yeah, and we were working with some crusty things that didn't quite work very well. Like the dial had seen some abuse over time, and lots of things were scratched and worn and not fitting properly. But...
Yeah, the way you hold your screwdriver was good.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll take that.
good.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, because I was going to say a lot of people hold the screwdrivers like that.
Yeah,
that's the fact that you did it like that. That's good.
All right, David, we're going to wrap it up there. I hope you've all enjoyed this journey. If any of you have made it this far, comment down below with the word pinion. You'll have to Google how to spell that because I haven't got a clue. And I'll heart that comment and reply to it. David, thank you so much. You'll see more of an appearance of David, I'm sure, on the channel over the next few months as I continue my watchmaking journey. But I hope you've all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Please consider subscribing. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Check out David's Instagram as well. I'll put that at the top of the description as well.
Cheers for having me.
Bye. Oh, mate.
That was so much fun.